Hello, Lumineers. I'm James, and this is the Dan Regal. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at the single-player decks for Whispers in the Well, the 10th set from Disney Lorcana. But first, before we look at those starter decks, let's take a look at one of the two new playmats that is coming out with this set. And it is the Jasmine playmat. This was enchanted artwork from the Reign of Jafar. And so let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. And then we're going to just leave it there and keep looking at it while we check out those single player decks. Oh, look at this. This is nice. All right. It's nice and smooth. It looks really nice. The colors are great. Blues and purples. This is really nice art. All right. Love it. I love this mat. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look. We've even got the little scarabs over here. Wow, this is so nice. All right. Okay. So we're going to take a look at both of the single player decks. We have the Sapphire and Steel with Judy and Robin Hood as the face characters. And then we have the Amber and Emerald with Simba and Megara as the face characters. Notice that they have the booster pack inside. They have the special foils of each of the two main characters from the front of the packaging. Let's see, which one? Let's do the Sapphire Steel first. All right, so let's take a look. Now, the single-player decks, each set pretty much have the same thing. They're going to have the 60-card pre-made deck and a booster pack. They will also have a lore tracker and a little instruction book. So there's your deck. Get this open right here. I have this here. Here's your pack. Here's your little paper playmat that will help you track everything with the lore track here. Here's your lore tracker with some damage counters that you can pop out. So you can start playing the game immediately with one of these single player decks. Of course, you'll need someone to play against, and they'll need a deck as well. The quick start rules are included. They are fairly generic for each starter deck. However, you can go through them, and these, of course, have all of the new cards. They show a lot of the new cards for explaining how to do things, what actions are, what items are, songs, locations, dual inks, and so on. And then at the very end, after you've read all of the instructions, they will have playing the Sapphire Steel deck. They will have a little bit of a help for what specifically this deck is looking to do. And then on the back, turn orders at a glance to tell you just the quick, so you can leave this if you're learning how to play, you can use this to just keep glancing at for your turn order and what you can do on a turn. All right, so let's set all this aside and we'll get looking at the deck itself. But first, let's go ahead and open up that booster pack, because the booster pack is going to give you 12 additional cards that you can then replace or add to your starter deck. If you're just starting fresh, you can add to it. Now remember that 2 inks are what's allowed in a deck, in a core constructed deck for Disney Lorcana. So whatever you get in this, you'll only be able to put the Sapphire and the Steel cards into this, but the other cards you can start building other decks with once you get more cards. So we'll take a look here, we'll open it up, and let's go through what every one of these packs is going to have. We'll set this right over here for now. Okay, so we're going to get 6 commons, 3 uncommons, and 2 rare, super rare, or legendaries. So there's 2 rare slots. And then the final card is going to be a foil card of any rarity. And of course, in every Disney Lorcana set, they have the, I think they're called marketing cards. But what's really cool is, yes, there is marketing. There's a QR code for you to go to DisneyLorcana.com and check out everything about the game. But also on this side is going to be something, sometimes it's art, sometimes it's a puzzle piece. In this case, we have, looks like some case files. And so you put all these together, get however many numbers there are, which we'll find out at some point how many there are when we open more stuff. And you can put them all together and get the full story. So this is really cool for the people who follow the story of the game. So we'll set that up there. So now again, we get 6 commons. We got Elsa here. And these are going to be all new cards. I think there are 2 reprints from previous sets in this, but they will have new art, so they will be new to us. We have Li Shang. Very cool. Brooklyn, one of Gargoyles. Gargoyles is one of the new franchises that is in Disney Lorcana with this set. Gargoyles from the Disney Afternoon shows. And this is Brooklyn, second in command. He is a 2-cost, 3/2 with evasive and the Stone by Day ability, which is if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, this character can't ready. And all of the Gargoyles characters that are gargoyles, because some of them are not gargoyles, will have this Stone by Day ability, which is representative of night and day. So they're Stone by Day, so you're more active in the day, so that means you're going to have more cards to use. So in the game, how they thematically show that these are gargoyles is whenever it's day and you have more cards, you can't ready the characters or their stone. If it is nighttime, less than 3 cards, then you can ready them because they're going to be active and no longer stone. So I think that's a really cool way, thematic way to show these gargoyles are Stone by Day. They're also going to have some pretty good stats because they do have this detriment. And then we have the Headless Man Horse. That's an interesting card. A 6-cost, 5/10. Wow, that's a lot of willpower on this one. Jetsam. And he is holding someone hostage, it looks like. All right. Nick Wilde. A 1-cost, 2/2. Okay, and that's the last common. So now we're on to the uncommons. And we have the Great Illuminary. A new location, 2-cost, 3 willpower, 1 move cost with 1 lore, and the ability characters gain exert to draw 1 card while here. This is going to be a really fun location to use. It's going to be, the 3 willpower is going to make it pretty easy to get rid of, but if you can play this and move characters, because it's only 1 move cost, and then use it all on the same turn, it's going to be a very good card. And another location, the Sleepy Hollow. Wow, very cool. The Bridge. It's a 3-cost, 6 willpower with 1 move cost, and the ability, whenever a character quests while here, you may banish this location to gain 2 lore and give them evasive until the start of your next turn. Interesting. That's a very interesting ability. I don't know if I like banishing locations, but this one isn't earning you any lore, so it's essentially going to give you that lore and evasive. Terran from the Black Cauldron. All right. And then we're now into the rare slots, and our first one is going to be a rare, and it is Next Stop Olympus, a 2-cost action. This is a very, very good card. Someone's going to be able to make a deck with this that's going to be pretty powerful because you can have a 5-cost, 5 strength or more character in play. This is free because it costs 2 less to play. Normally, there are things that make actions cost more, so that may change how much you actually pay for it. But the ability is ready chosen character. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. The next time they challenge another character this turn, gain 1 lore. So that's a very good ability. And then next up, Ink Amplifier. This is a Disney Lorcana original item. It is not from any Walt Disney animated property. And the ability is Energy Capture. Whenever an opponent draws a card during their turn, if it's the second card they've drawn this turn, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. Very cool. And then in the foil slot, we have a common, and it is Brooklyn again. So we have the regular and the foil. All right. So this is our pack. So again, if we were going to be upgrading our starter deck that we pulled this out of, that came with this starter deck, we're going to be able to use these 3 cards to upgrade it. I don't know if we will, so let's take a look at the starter deck. All right, it comes in this little paper, and every starter deck has foil cards of the 2 characters that are on the front of the single-player deck. I just tear it open. And here we go. So it has the foils of Judy Hopps and Robin Hood. And Robin Hood is one of the new types of cards in this set, Whispers in the Well. It's a whisper. And you'll notice the parchment paper, the lore book page that makes up the border, and the design of the card. And it has the boost ability, which is brand new. And it is essentially you pay 1, so it's boost 1 ink. So you have to spend 1 ink from your inkwell, and then you can put the top card of your deck face down underneath this card. So you would, if your deck was here, you would pull it and just put it straight without even looking at it and put it under there. So you don't know what that card is, but now it has a card underneath it, and the ability, whenever this character quests, if there's a card under him, deal 1 damage to up to 2 chosen characters. So this boost is going to allow you to have this extra ability. Otherwise, he's just a 4 cost, 2 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore character. And he can quest or challenge or sing or whatever you want to do. But as soon as you boost him, he has this extra ability for when questing, you can deal damage. So that is very cool. All right, so let's take a look at all the cards we have in this. So we have this Judy Hopps here. It's a very strong character with 6 strength and 4 willpower, and she shifts, so she can shift onto other Judy Hopps. Kristoff, another Whisper, with a 1 boost cost. Nick Wilde, which shifts, so that Nick Wilde that we had from the pack you would be able to play that and then shift this onto it. Castle Wyvern from Gargoyles. Wow, another cool card. 1 lore. Characters here gain Challenger 1 and Resist 1. Cost 2 with 5 willpower and 1 move cost. I think this might be getting some play. All right. And then we have, starting in on uncommons, we got another Judy, 3 cost. And now there's going to be a lot of detective abilities in this set, because that's a theme, as everyone's investigating things. There's lots of detectives on the case. And of course, Judy and Nick are 2 of those detectives. And then we have Scuttle with Ward. We have Jasmine, another Whisper, boost 2 cost. We have Pluto, and he has a detective ability where if you have a detective in play, you are allowed to return an item card from your discard to your hand. If you don't, you can put it on the top of your deck, so you don't get it for free. You have to draw it. All right, then we have Black Heron and David Xanatos. Now this character is from Gargoyles, and he looks like a gargoyle, but he is not a gargoyle because he doesn't have the Stone by Day feature. We have the Robot Queen item. We have Zootopia Location. We have Zeus, another Whisper. Daisy Duck, 2 cost, 2/3 with support. Very cool. And here is one of the cards that is a reprint from the first chapter, but it has all new art with a new version of Detective Mickey. Same ability, same stats, but this one is all new art. It's very cool. This one allows you to put a card from the top of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted when you play it. We have Henwen from Black Cauldron, Anna from Frozen. We've got the Genie, Henwen's Visions. So Henwen is looking in the pool and then still looking in the pool, but now we can see it. And we can see a little bit of the future in this. And you can see the thorny I don't know, what is that? That's some kind of crazy vine, maybe, with thorns on it. We have Promising Lead in action. Character gains lore and support. We have the Detective's Badge, 1 cost item. You can exert and pay 1 ink to give a chosen character resist +1 and the Detective classification. So this allows you to use the Detective Matters abilities on other characters and items and songs and such. By giving this to a character, then that character can then take advantage of that. That's very cool. We have Clawhauser from Zootopia with Challenger +2 ability and on an already big stats body. We have Francine with Resist 1. We have more of that Nick Wilde, the 1 cost 2/2 that this Nick Wilde can shift onto. We have Donald Duck, Ghost Hunter. He's a detective. And when you play this, another detective character gets Challenger +2. Now, chosen, not other, but chosen means that you can choose this one if you can challenge on the turn it's played. Now, normally you can't, but if there's a way to give this rush, then you'll be able to. We have Basil from the Great Mouse Detective, another detective, of course. There's a lot of detectives here. Minnie Mouse, another ghost hunter, and chosen detective character gains alert this turn. Alert is they can challenge as if they had evasive. So you can challenge those evasive characters that are always a little difficult to get rid of. Putting it all together, action. Chosen opposing character can't challenge during their next turn, and you can draw a card. And finally, the Headless Horseman, a 4 cost 4/4 Relentless Spirit. This one has Bodyguard. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for this cost. And look at that art. Very cool art. All right. So that's this starter deck. So obviously it's detective themed, lots of support, few locations to take advantage of that, but mainly this is a detective deck. You want to really make use of all of the detective abilities and the boosts that the cards have on them in order to get that 20 lore that wins you the game. All right. So that's this Sapphire Steel starter. I really like this one. This one's really cool looking. I'd like to give this a go and see if it plays well, and maybe build a detective deck. So what you want to do if you want to start upgrading one of these decks, you'll notice that some of these have 2 or 3 cards of certain cards. What you'll want to do is you'll want to pick the ones that you think are the most powerful, or the best cards, or just the ones you want to play the most. And most likely what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get 4 of them. You can have up to 4 of a card in the deck that has a name. So the Headless Horseman, Relentless Spirit, you can have 4 of. You already have 2, so you can add 2 more to the deck. You'd have to take something else out if you wanted to keep it at 60 cards. But this is what you want to do: is you want to make it more consistent. It'll be better if you add it and you kind of even it out to be more consistent instead of having 1 of each thing. So like you would want to get more of this Judy and this Nick. If you're really building a detective deck, you're going to want to find more of these and maybe not so many of the Whispers that don't have detective classifications. You may still want some of these if you really like the abilities on them, but if you're building a detective deck that this is mostly full of, then you would want to make more detectives in the deck. And with 204 cards in this set, there are a lot of detectives. All right, so let's set this one aside. And we are going to take a look at the Amber Emerald deck. All right, so let's take a look and open this one up. And again, it'll have all the same contents that comes with every starter deck. You got your deck, and you got all the pieces for playing the game, and of course, that extra pack, along with, of course, the 2 paper products, the instructions, and then all the damage counters and the lore tracker. All right, again, we'll set that aside. We'll take a look at see what's in the pack and what we can use to upgrade this deck. So we'd be looking for Amber and Emerald cards. And the art card we got this time is another case file. This one's number 3. Okay, here we go. Dragonfire. This is another reprint with all new art. I really like this art. It's very cool. Look, we have more of the vines with thorns. So is that a hint for upcoming something, maybe? Mushu. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Look at the shadow. Very cool. Anna. Higgins, Undercover Officer. A 1 cost, 2/2 with 1 lore. Webby, Vanderquack, Mystery Enthusiast. A 1-drop, 1/2. Now you notice the 1-drops have 2 different stats, and this one has only 1 strength because it also has the ability Contagious Energy. When you play this character, chosen character gets +1 strength this turn. Then we have Inspector Tezuka with Bodyguard. And then on to the uncommons. We have Gaston, Frightful Bully. This is another Whisper with boost 2. And this one is an interesting ability. Top that, whenever this character quests, if there's a card under him, chosen opposing character can't challenge and must quest if able. So this is a way to get a character to exert if you want them. If they haven't been exerting and you need to challenge into them and get rid of them, this is a way to make them do that. And then we have Nana, Canine Caregiver, with the ability Helpful Instincts. When you play this character, you may choose and discard a card to return chosen character with cost 2 or less to their player's hand. This is if you want to put a character back in your hand that you want to replay with an ability on play. This is a good way to do it. Flintheart Glomgold. While you have a character or location in play with a card under them, this character gains ward. Opponents can't choose them except a challenge. That's pretty good because it also has 3 lore, so he can be protected until he can quest. And then in our rare slot, we have the Enigmatic Inkcaster, another Disney Lorcana original. 2 cost uninkable item with the ability Its Own Reward. You exert this item, and if you've played 2 or more cards this turn, gain 1 lore. So if you have a aggro-style deck with lots of low-cost characters, once you have a few ink, you can play 2 cards a turn as long as you have them in hand. And if this item is out, you can earn an extra lore every turn. And then we have a super rare. It is Magicka Dispel, a 7 cost, uninkable, 7/7 with 1 lore. Shift 7, so you have to pay the same exact cost either way, but if you shift it, Shadow's Grasp, when you play this character, if you use Shift to play her, you may draw 4 cards. So I think you might want to be shifting this character in order to get that draw. And then in the foil slot, we have a common. It is Promising Lead. All right. Okay. So from this one, we actually got quite a few cards that we would be able to upgrade in our Amber Emerald deck if we wanted to. And we may get some of these in the deck itself, but we can always have more. We can have up to 4, so we might actually want to use some of these in the deck. All right, let's set them aside, though, and take a look at the deck itself. All right, we've got Simba, the foil Whisper, 7 cost, 5/5, boost 3, super rare. This is a really good card. This is reminiscent of the Mufasa from Into the Inklands. The Timely Alliance, whenever you put a card under this character, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character card, you may play that character for free and they enter play exerted. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. So if you want to play a really character-heavy deck, this is most likely going to be successful every time. And you just have to pay 3 to do it. So if you put a bunch of 5, 6, 7, 9 cost characters in your deck, but you boost this character each turn, once per turn, then for 3, you may be playing a 9 cost character for 3. So it's going to be some value. And then we have Megara, another foil, another Whisper, 3 cost, 3/4, Secret Keeper. boost 1 and the ability I'll be fine. While there's a card under this character, she gets +1 lore and gains whenever this character is challenged. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. All right, let's see what else we got in this deck. We've got Baloo with a choice of 2 different things you can do when you play it. Each player draws a card, or each player chooses and discards a card. And he's a Floodborn that you can shift on 3. We have Penumbra, 5-cost uninkable, with some really good stats: 7, 6, and 2 lore. Moon Alien. Scrooge McDuck. Now this one's really cool. This one's a Floodborn that can shift, but I think the ability is really cool because whenever you play a character or location with boost, which you already have 2 here, you may put the top card of your deck face down under them. So you can boost them without having to pay the boost cost. So if this character is out first, and then you start playing your Whisper characters, you will get the advantage of every time you play a Whisper while this character is out of getting 1 boost for free. Duckburg. 2 cost, 6 willpower, 2 move cost. Location with where fun is in the zone. Whenever a character quests while here, you pay 2 less for the next character you play this turn. All right, that is a good cost reduction location. We've got Flynn Rider, a 1-cost Whisper with boost 2. He'll get extra strength and lore. There's a couple of... Oh, look, there's 3 of those. Lots of Whispers in this so far. Emily Quackfaster, 2 cost, 2/2. All right, this one lets you boost for free again just by playing this character. So the Scrooge, when you play the Whisper, lets you boost, and then this one will let you boost when you play this character under a Whisper. So you play the Scrooge first, play out your Whispers, and then play your Emily, and you got 2 free boosts for each character that you want to do this to. All right, we got Bellwether from Zootopia. 4 cost, 3/3 with 2 lore. When this character is challenged and banished, put 1 damage counter on each opposing character. That is a really good ability because then the 1 damage counter being put on the characters means it gets past resist and ward. So they just get placed there. You're not choosing them. They just have that damage placed on them. That's very cool. And you get a couple of those. We've got Hook Hand with, again, some really nice stats. We've got Blessed Bagpipes, which boost matters for these. You gain a lore whenever one of your characters with or locations with a card under them is challenged. We've got more of that Gaston we just saw from the pack we opened. We've got 3 of those. We've got Webby Vanderquack, a 3-cost 1/6 with 1 lore. And I've read about this. While you have a character or location in play with a card under them, this character gets +1 lore. And of course, you have all of these Whispers to take advantage of having a card under them. Scrooge McDuck, 3-cost 4/3. So this is your shift target for this Scrooge, because you can play this on 3 and then shift this one on 4. So that's really cool. We have Bagheera, a 3-cost 4/4. Recovered Page, an item. All right. We've got some Baloo, 3 of those. And we've got 3 Big Nose, a couple Akelas, some Flotsams, some Jetsams, Chomp. So this is cool because this deals damage to a damaged character, 2 damage for 1 cost. So like if every character after Bellwether's banished has 1 damage, then you can pick the character you want to get damaged with that. So be it. Each of your characters gets 1 strength this turn, and you can banish an item. Goofy. Ghost Hunter. So we've got a Ghost Hunter for all of the fabulous, what is the Fabulous 5, the Spectacular 6. Perfect Trap. When you play this character, chosen opposing character gets -1 strength until the start of your next turn. Mrs. Beakley with Bodyguard. A 1-cost Elanwi. Hope I pronounced that right. From the Black Cauldron. And she has support. We've got Della Duck. And then again, it's another Boost Matters character. We've got Higgins. Another 1-drop. And we've got Della's Moon Lullaby. A song. Chosen opposing character gets -2 strength until the start of your next turn and draw a card. And finally, we have the item Munchings and Crunchings. You exert it. What a juicy apple. Exert to remove up to 2 damage from a chosen character, and come on out. You pay 1 less to play characters named Gertie. All right, so obviously this is a Whispers deck where everything you're doing is going to be dealing with the Whispers and being able to boost them for free, or to get extra abilities out of the fact that these Whispers all have this boost abilities. So you want to play out your Whispers, you want to get those cards under them, and you want to take advantage of their abilities as much as possible. And of course, you can upgrade it. You have a lot of cards in here that have 3 of, so you can just add 1 more of those to increase them up to 4. You can pick and choose which ones you want in or out if you want to upgrade it. And I would say you would want to make sure you just keep adding the Whisper abilities that you think are most important, and taking out the cards that you think maybe don't help, or maybe they're just characters you don't like as much. Who knows? You can do what you want with your deck. As long as it's within the rules. 60 cards, no more than 4 cards of any one character with the subname, and 2 inks. That's it. All right, those are the starter decks. I really like the starter decks this set. They are the single-player decks, sorry. They're really good. I think that they're a really good start. I really like the new foiling that's they've been doing for the last couple sets with the rainbowy, wavy foil. And I just really like these. These are really nice. I want to play a Whispers deck, and I want to play a Detective deck. So I will be building one of those when I get enough cards from this set. So let me know what you think of these decks. I will put the links to the deck lists in the show notes, in the description. So if you want to go look and see what it is and copy it and then start changing it to what you want to build, feel free. Thank you again. Whispers in the Well is pre-release on November 7th. It is wide everywhere on November 14th. And I would like to thank Ravensburger for sending me these starter decks and the playmat, the beautiful playmat, for review and to open and take a look at and tell you all about. And I am James. This is the Dan Regal, and we'll see you next time.